All right, let's talk about something that's been a total game changer for a lot of people, the menstrual cup. Today, we're going to break down what it is, how it works, and help you figure out if it might just be the right fit for you. So I want to start with a number, 10 years. Just think about that for a second. What if I told you that one single menstrual product could last you an entire decade? It sounds kind of wild, doesn't it? I mean, seriously, could one product really last that long? That's the huge claim we're looking at today, and it has implications for everything, your wallet, your convenience, and the planet. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we weigh the pros and cons, let's start at square one. What in the world is a menstrual cup anyway? At its core, it's a pretty simple but brilliant idea. It's this small, flexible, bell-shaped thing that, instead of absorbing menstrual fluid, just collects it. And that one little word, collect, is the key to basically everything that makes it so different. So what are these things even made of? Well, the most common material by far is medical-grade silicone. And that's great news because it's specifically designed to be body safe. We're talking non-toxic and hypoallergenic. You might also find some made of latex or TPE, but for good reason, silicone is definitely the fan favorite. Okay, so we know what it is, but how does this little device actually work when it's, in there? The whole idea behind it is completely different from what most of us are used to. And this slide right here, this is the whole shebang. Tampons and pads, they're all about absorbing. A menstrual cup? It's all about collecting. This one simple change is where all its unique features and benefits come from. The design itself is actually pretty clever and simple. You've got the rim up top, that's what opens up to create a gentle seal to stop any leaks. The body is, well, the part that does the collecting. Those tiny little air holes are super important. They keep a vacuum from forming, which makes it way easier to get out. And that stem at the bottom, that's just a little guide to help you find it. Now, because it collects instead of absorbs, it can hold way more, like 3 to 4 times more than a super tampon. So what does that actually mean for you in real life? It translates to a massive practical perk, up to 12 hours of wear time. All right, so it all sounds pretty interesting in theory, but what's it like in the real world? Let's get real and lay out a totally balanced view, the good stuff and the potential challenges. And the upsides here are huge. Health-wise, because it's not absorbing everything, it doesn't cause dryness or mess with your body's natural balance. That means a much, much lower risk of toxic shock syndrome. Then there's the practical stuff. It's incredibly cheap in the long run and a total game changer if you're active. And of course, the environmental angle is just a massive win. But hey, let's be realistic. It's not always perfect right out of the box. There is absolutely a learning curve. Getting the hang of putting it in and taking it out can be a little tricky and, yeah, maybe a bit messy at first. And you really have to be on top of your hygiene game to keep everything safe. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm intrigued, you're probably wondering about the how. Let's just walk through a quick little how-to guide to make the whole process feel a lot less intimidating. First up, insertion. And it always, always starts with clean hands and a clean cup. Then you'll fold it. The C-fold and the punch down are 2 really popular ways to do it. The key is to relax your muscles, then insert it. A little gentle twist can help make sure it's popped open all the way and created that seal. When it's time for removal, same deal. Start with clean hands and try to relax. Now, your first instinct might be to just grab that little stem and pull, right? But that's the one thing you absolutely do not want to do. The real key is reaching up for the base of the cup, which brings us to maybe the most important tip of all. Okay, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Never just yank on the stem. Think of it as a guide, not a handle. The magic trick is to pinch the base of the cup itself. That one simple move breaks the suction seal, which makes removal totally smooth and comfortable. Cleaning is super simple, but super important. During your cycle, all you need is a quick wash with some mild soap and water between uses. Then, after your cycle's over, you'll sterilize it by boiling it for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let it dry completely and then pop it in the breathable little pouch it came with. It's this simple routine that lets it last for years. So we've covered the what, the how, and the why. Now we're at the final, and maybe most important question. How do you know if a menstrual cup is a good choice for you personally? First off, size matters. Cups aren't one size fits all. Smaller sizes are usually a good starting point for teens or if you have a lighter flow. Larger sizes are often recommended if you have a heavier flow or if you've given birth vaginally, since your pelvic floor muscles might be a bit more relaxed. And this is really important. There are definitely some situations where a cup is a no-go. For instance, if you have any kind of active infection, or you've just had surgery or given birth,
And of course, if you know you have an allergy to silicone or latex. If you have any specific health concerns, it's always a good idea to chat with your doctor first.
You know, when you just see it all laid out like this, side by side, the differences are just crystal clear. From how long you can wear it, to the reusability, to the long-term cost and environmental impact, the menstrual cup really is in a league of its own. So it all kind of boils down to this, doesn't it? The biggest challenge isn't really the product itself. It's just being willing to get through that small learning curve at the beginning. So now that you have all the facts, the only real question left is, are you ready to give it a try? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.